Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. My name is Brother Alfred. Welcome. A little late starting today, but we are here. We're going to talk to you about some other issues we're going to be discussing. Um, we should have started later. We have started our programs here, so we want to get a chance to showcase some of our resources. Okay. Okay. So, gonna give it to you real straight. The 4B movement, which is started in Korea, uh, there's a lot of talk, like, you know, this one saying that we should be supporting that. Then there's some saying we shouldn't be supporting that. This is why we shouldn't be supporting it. And then there's, you, the people. Uh, 4B meaning, uh, you know, no, no boyfriend. That means no dating men. No, uh, having intimate relations with men. Um, no sleeping in the same bed with men. Um, and it goes on and on. But my thing is that it's, I believe. Here's what I believe. Okay, I believe women should be treated fairly and justly. I believe women should have a right to be treated fairly and justly. But I also believe women should be be put into the place that the nature has put them in, not to change that. It's good to define that, um, but it's not okay for you to try to um, hurt the real narrative of it all. So what I'm gonna do today is play this video, and hopefully we can go ahead and do that. And we're going to go ahead and do that. So I want you to watch this video. After you come back, you're going to hear what this brother has to say, and I think it's a very good one. And we'll go from there.
Korean women have no idea what the 4B movement is, and we need to stop this misinformation.
Okay, so thank you to my friend Annie for making that video, because I am a Korean woman currently living in Korea, and I have so much to say about this topic. So most of the 4B movement videos that I've seen on TikTok are made from foreigners, and I think Korean Americans or just Asian people living in the West, but not actually people living in Korea. So like I said, I live in Seoul. What I think is happening is the Western media likes to really pick up on these sensationalist, provocative topics and then makes it into an article, and then everyone on TikTok follows suit and makes videos about it. But let me tell you, and literally all the conversations that I have with my friends around my age is about, oh my God, we're looking to get married, we need to find good partners, and we need to do this before it gets too late or we're just like aged out of their marriage market, you know? And I just made a YouTube video about this, Korea's population crisis, why nobody is getting married or having babies. But I also explained there are services in Korea like marriage matchmaking services where people go and you pay a broker and you submit all this information about yourself, your income, your assets, your family background, if you have any debt, like which university you went to, you submit all that information, and then they take that and then they will try to match you up with people who they think that you're on par with. So you know how you see in K-dramas how like the poor girl ends up marrying the richest CEO of Korea? Yeah, in reality that never happens. So people go to these marriage services and they're heavily used. So many in the country because everyone is using them. And so the 4B movement in Korea is a very, very small fraction of the whole Korean population in general. It's just the Western media likes to highlight that part and make it seem like it's the biggest issue in Korea, which it really is not. I can promise you that. Don't believe all those sensational articles written online all the time. Most people in Korea still like the other sex. We want to date, we want to find love, we want to get married. Those are like the big majority. And it's only the small group of extreme radical misandrists and extreme radical misogynists. They just seem like the loudest because the most attention goes to them. But yeah, I literally just dropped a YouTube video explaining about this whole thing. So go.
Sounds like what's happening right over here in Black culture. And you know what the funniest part about it is? Every single person, because I did a video that basically broke down the fact that there was a bunch of women, specifically Black women, that I had seen proliferating throughout my comments, making assumptions and jumping headfirst into something that's not best for them. Meaning that they took a narrative that they seen online without doing any research and is encouraging each other to look into a movement that even South Koreans don't embrace. And it's funny because I'm actually planning Seoul in August of this year. So that should be a very, very good experience because I said that, you know, I want to travel to different places. My daughter actually is the one that suggested that we go there this year instead of going to somewhere else because we was going to go to, I think we was going to go to Italy, but we decided to go over to Seoul. For whatever reason, we just obsessed with these Asian places to go and visit. But neither here nor there. You got to go and experience and do your own research. And so I decided to go and find out what exactly this 4B movement is, how it started to gain traction, and why it's starting to proliferate throughout the community, specifically the Black community. And I was wondering, right? And I'm thinking to myself, well, why after the first, second, third, fourth waves of feminism would women start to go into and then try to embrace another form of feminism from another place? And why is that place even embracing it? Because that's not something that's normal, right? When you step outside the country, when you step outside of Western culture, almost every other place, actually every place that I personally researched, don't embrace the way that they look at relationships and men and marriage and, you know, feminism and equal and all of that stuff. People want to get married, women want to get married, men want to find the one, but they have very, very high standards. And you also have to meet the expectations. And this is not Disney. This is not a Disney movie. This is not fairy tales. This is real life, meaning that she's explaining to you that they realistic. They get what they qualify for. And even these matchmaking services that's booming in other countries, they are absolutely making sure that you're paired appropriately because you cannot step outside of what it is that you can attract. Only in Western culture do we live in a space to women expect higher standards than what they qualify for themselves. And so you can be a single baby mama, you can be 90 years old, you can be having 4 baby daddies, you can be broke as hell and work at McDonald's, and then you just expect for a rich man to come and save you. And that's the end of the conversation. So we were right. They saying or what it really means. Here's the rules of the 4B movement. For those of you that didn't watch the previous video, this is the 4 no's. No sex with men, no child rearing, no dating men, and no marriage with men. So you have a very, 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 according to this woman, very small segment of women that is moving extreme, that is having a bigger impact in Western culture than they're having in their own culture and in their own country. That's amazing how it's so easy for us to attach ourselves to the wrong thing. And we never, ever, ever are trying to find a way for us to get back to the root of what made us great in the first place. We got the blueprint. That's the weird thing about it. We have the blueprint. We know what it takes to be successful. We know what's best for our children. We know how to fix our communities. We know that you get what you attract. But I don't, for whatever reason, and again, this is the reason why I'm always asking, and I asked this question the other day. I said, are we cursed? Are we cursed? Because it seems nearly impossible for us to, for years and decades and centuries, to have all of this information, to have all of this insight, to see how it's ruined the communities or whatever, and to continue to just triple down and double down on this path to destruction and destroying our families, while at the same time criticizing people that actually have the results. You know, I was listening to, and this is a parallel, right? And so stick with me real quick. Right now, I'm going down this dark path of going on TikTok, and it's a specific hashtag that's tied to Dave Ramsey, and it's a whole lot of young people, white, black, women, men, and most of them seem like they're pretty liberal. But it's a whole lot of young people. I would just say Gen Zers, some millennials too, a lot of millennials too, that's basically going off and criticizing Dave Ramsey. Imagine criticizing a person that's literally lifted thousands, if not millions of people out of poverty by giving them simple information that allows for them to actually get better results financially, spiritual, live what he preaches, is a 100 millionaire or more, net worth is just exploding. Imagine arguing with a dude that will probably be a billionaire by the time that he dies, whose family is together, understand what it's like to go broke in poverty, and you sitting there telling him that he don't know what he's talking about. That's the same thing that I see happening when it comes to the relationship spaces, the same thing that I see happening when it comes to cultural norms, the same thing that I see happening when it do your own research. When it comes to politics, when it comes to money, and certainly when it comes to relationships, do research. Find out the core of where this stuff is coming from and root it out. Because you're gonna wind up embracing something that's not best for you from a bunch of radical people on a whole nother continent that's telling you to do something, and they're the small minority of women that have failed and they cannot get a relationship, or they choose to turn away from the thing that's best for them because they don't have the results. That's not the key to success. That's not how you go about doing things. And we need to be very, very, very careful who you embrace in, the decisions that you're making, and the path that you choose, because you literally only get one life. There is no respawns. There is no redo. You got to be careful. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description.
What I'm saying to you now, as you just saw and heard, there's a small, minute group hijacking another small, minute movement, and they are calling it A, B, and C. And they're trying to be part of that 4B. But people are not even really doing research on this. Okay? The 4B movement started with a basis of a novel and a book from South Korea. And this woman came up with this storyline about a fictional character. And some women in South Korea felt that that was them. And they felt related to that. They can relate with that. And because of A, B, and C, they felt that they have a right to hijack that movement or that scenario. It's the same thing like when the brother was asking long ago, why are Caucasian women hijacking the Black Lives Matter movement? And they have really made it about themselves. These kind of things are going to keep occurring. And as a person who is in the fatherhood movement, I see it as a toxic reaction, which can actually do harm because there is a movement for the population control. And that is to basically kill half of the world's population within a certain amount of time. And it's been going on before COVID. The first exposure was with Bill Gates and their crew. And these things keep going on here. So my importance is that maybe men should start their own movement. And I call it the original. The original movement, meaning that men literally have to meet the father, have to meet the father of the woman, and she doesn't, run. You're to not walk, but run away from that person. Because if you can't meet their father before you go out with them, more likely that woman does not know how to treat you right. Because she was never taught how to treat a man. A man can teach you, knows how a man should be treated and properly treated. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a part 2 on this subject first thing tomorrow night. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock Pacific. I think we should just really take a good examination of what we are doing, because we're going to end up hurting each other and hurting ourselves. All right. My name is Brother Alfred. I appreciate you coming here today at the National Saving Fatherhood. Please, you have any questions, go to www.nsfatherhood.org. Thank you.